I'm Guy.
And you're watching AAA News.
Today, we have 6th grade teacher Mr. Marks to tell us what he's been doing with his students during quarantine.
And now we'll go to Sami, who's interviewing Mr. Marks.
Thank you, Bella. Mr. Marks, has it been difficult to adjust from regular school to distance learning?
Moving from regular school to distance learning has definitely been a challenge. From a teacher's perspective, I have had to, and we have had to, spend large amounts of time preparing in ways that we have never really done before, with using technology and of course the Google Classroom and different other kinds of things. And so that has actually been a gigantic challenge for teachers. For students, it's been a challenge because a lot of what we're doing is virtual, and depending on how the teacher teaches, they can have some challenges in terms of questions and answers, and sometimes you don't get your questions that you have answered immediately. And so again, challenges all across the board.
So, how important is it to you to stay connected with your students during this time?
Staying connected with students has been really, really important for all of us, because again, not seeing each other in the classroom, we're really missing out on that social development, that craving that we all have for social interaction. And so that's where Zoom has actually been really nice, where we can see each other and things like that. One of the drawbacks is sometimes we're not always real chatty during those times. So one of the special things that I've done and like to do is to play bonkio.io with my students. I was introduced to that website last year from the now 7th graders, and essentially you have a ball that you can create with different skins and personalize it, and the whole objective is to bounce your classmates, or in this case Mr. Martz. They love to bounce Mr. Martz off the screen and make him lose his turn, and the premise of the whole game is to be the last one standing. And so we've shared a few Bonk.io sessions, and that's been a lot of fun.
That sounds really cool. What is one positive thing that you have gotten out of this experience?
One of the positives with distance learning, and I enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed it immensely, is that I don't have to get up as early in the mornings. Before, when we were having regular school, we would leave our house in Mount Airy at about 6:45 in the morning so that we would get to Atholton by about 7:30. Now, with distance learning, we don't have to worry about the traffic. We don't have to rush out of the house. There's not a lot of fighting going on in the house where we're rushing and different things like that. So one of the huge benefits has been being able to spend more time at home with my kids and not dealing with the stress of travel. And I'm sure some of you that drive a fair amount or fair distance to come to school have enjoyed that as well.
That's cool. Wait, your brother's in that class, right?
Yeah, actually, he's with me right now. So Josh, what is your favorite part about being able to stay home?
I guess spend more time with my family now.
What do you like best about online learning?
That we do get a little less homework.
Yeah.
And we also have 6th grader Alyssa to tell us about her quarantine experience.
Hi, my name is Arianna Giddy.
Hi, my name is Lisa Giddy.
And today I'm just going to get some more few questions.
Thank you for me.
Either way. Alyssa, what is online school like?
It can be hard because one, we may not understand all the questions, and two, it can be really fun because we get to do whatever we want and sleep in.
Not like whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, Alyssa, what's your least favorite thing about online school?
That would be not being able to see my friends, older than me and younger than me. It can be it's kind of fun, talking to them in the hallway,
So, Alyssa, what is your favorite thing about online school? Because, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I love online school, but what do you do?
One, it's really nice. Like I get to sleep whenever I want and eat whenever I want. So
You get to sleep whenever you want, but
Yeah.
Okay. That's all the time we have for today. Bye.
Peace out.
Speaking of schoolwork staying the same throughout quarantine, the 4th graders have been doing their how-tos virtually, and we have Carson Mayer here, who's going to show us what he showed his class for his how-to.
Hi, my name is Carson Meyer. I'm in 4th grade and I chose to make a how-to about bread. I chose to make it about bread because this year my class was supposed to make bread, but because of COVID we didn't have a chance to make it. For my how-to, I made a video of me making the bread, so I didn't do it virtually. But the most challenging part about doing the video was trying to not make the video so long so people wouldn't get bored. But then my mom and I figured out how to shorten the video. The best part about doing my how-to was when I could eat some of the bread because it turned out good.
That bread looks really good. Now I'm hungry.
Today, we have Mr. Eliot to tell us some stories from when he attended Atholton.
Hello there. I am Victor Eliot. Back in the 60s, I was a student at Atholton Adventist Academy, just like you. I was one of 6 children, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in my nuclear family, all of which went to Atholton. We lived in a big old farmhouse that was just on a little hill, just a short distance from the school. In fact, the southbound exit from Route 29 that goes onto Seneca stops right where my front yard was. That's on the west side of 29 between the Chesapeake Conference offices and where they're doing all that construction work on the new retirement center next to the Athol Mansion. To get to school, we had a path that ran down our little hill, across the creek, and back up the hill past the conference office. We could even go home for lunch if the teachers let us out. Now, did you ever wonder why our school and church are named Atholton? Before Columbia was carved out of Howard County farmland, this area was a part of a 400-acre land patent granted by Lord Baltimore to the Reverend James McGill. He pastored the local Church of England. Of course, this was way back before the Revolution, so when the Revolution came along, it became the Episcopalian Church, of course. That was 2 years before George Washington was born. Did I say it was 1730? Yeah. Anyhow, the land patent's from 1730. Not too far from our school, on a path that runs behind the Clemens Crossing Elementary School, you can still see the starting stone marker for the original land patent. When we come out from under this stay-at-home order, I would be glad to take any of you over that want to visit the stone. However, if you want to look at it, look for it yourselves, it's a big gray stone, kind of a triangular shape, with carvings on it, and the point is stuck in the ground. On one of the bigger flat sides, it has an X with the date 1730. On the other bigger flat side, it has the initials IM, which I believe stands for James McGill, but it looks like they forgot the hook on the J. On the other 2 sides in the top, you can read the words, "Here begins Athol." Now, Athol was the ancestral home of James McGill in Scotland. So that's what he named his property here in the New World. Now, let me tell you a bit about my stay as a student. Usually we had 2 or 3 grades to a classroom. We only had, at the time I went here, the classrooms in the old wing. That's where the kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade rooms are now. When the gym was being built, one Friday night a big wind came along and blew over the partially finished western wall. Some joker put a scarecrow under the blocks that had fallen so that when people came to the church the next morning, they thought a man got crushed by the blocks. No one was actually injured, but the next time they built that wall, they reinforced it by filling the blocks with concrete. I have mostly good memories of friends made, lessons learned, recess, Saturday night skating where I could get a Clark bar, and so on. One time I almost got to kiss a girl in the 6th grade on a field trip to Baltimore. I missed the opportunity, so she left me for another boy the next week. One other learning experience that I recall was when my teacher was somewhat frustrated in her attempts to get me to do my schoolwork. Back in the 3rd grade, in an attempt to motivate me, she wrote a note, stapled it closed, addressed it to the principal, and had me hand carry it to the principal's office. That year, the principal was a giant of a man, at least compared to a skinny little 3rd grader like me. Recently, school administration has been able to locate the original note and has provided me with a copy. Do you want to see what was written in it? Okay, here it is. Can you read that? If not, let me read it to you. This boy, Victor, has done nothing in school, just sits. His father told me not to just talk, but to lay the law down. Please spank him. My goodness. Well, the principal, always supportive of his teachers, dutifully gave me a few whacks with a paddle. But to tell you the truth, it really didn't hurt since I started crying as soon as I figured out what he was going to do. I would like to say that I became a very focused student after that, but that's not always been true. Years later, after I was married and had 4 lads of my own taking their schooling at Atholton, I had a chance encounter with my former 3rd grade teacher. She came up to me all apologetic for sending me to the principal. Evidently, my dad, the school board chair at the time, had told her to lay down the law. I'm not sure that experience has scarred me for life or whether it was something else that's happened. In any event, I would encourage you to buckle down, even now, while you are out of reach of the principal's office. Do your work so that you can learn as much as you can. It will make the rest of your life much, much easier if you learn how to apply yourself to the tasks at hand. Goodbye for now.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Either way, I guess that's all the time we have for today, so...
Wait, it's not over.
What are you talking about? Of course it's over. We don't have anything else.
Essay?
Huh? I'm so confused.
With their art contest.
I'm still confused here.
Just watch.
Okay, fine. We'll watch it.
Hi, Atholton.
Hi, Atholton. Hi, JJ. I bet you guys are wondering what JJ's doing. Well, JJ's submitting art for the art exhibition next week. Now, it's not too late for you to submit something. You have a couple days left. And just remember, we're not just looking for the traditional drawings and paintings and pictures, but you can turn that in. We do want that. But we also want your poetry, we want your short stories, we want your photography, anything artistic. Just submit it to Mr. V at atholton.us, okay? Now, there is also a prize for the best pieces of artwork. We're going to give a pizza dinner for the winners. So put a lot of time and effort and love into your artwork, all right? I hope to see a lot of artwork next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that's pretty cool. This whole newscast is really making me hungry. First the bread, and now a whole pizza dinner. I'm really hungry now.
So don't forget to submit your artwork by May 18. And now, that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for joining us today, and make sure to tune in for the next AAA newscast.